An around-the-world trip is something many of us would dream of going on. Yes, please. Seeing the sights, exploring different cultures and meeting new people. You're going to hear from a man now who had dreams of cycling all the way around the globe to raise money for charity. Unfortunately, that would have cost him a few £1,000. So instead, he decided to do it from his house in Trenton. As you do. Steve Lewis-Brammer has been on this static bike at his home, cycling for months and months, and he's still nowhere near finished. I'm going to speak to him in a sec. But first, producer Jack can tell you what he's up to.
There isn't a day I wake up where I don't have aching legs, hips and lower back.
That's Steve Lewis-Brammer from Longton. He likes exercising and he likes keeping a record of his exercising. And there's no other way to say it. He came up with a bit of a bonkers idea.
I would cycle around the circumference of the world. It just seemed like something to have a go at.
He says it like it's nothing. Steve's pedalling 40,070 kilometres for cancer research, and he's doing it from a static bike at home. And if you've ever ridden a static bike for even 10 seconds, you'll know it's so dull.
It's the cause that keeps me doing it. 1 in 2 people nowadays will be affected by cancer. For me, that keeps me getting on the bike.
So Steve has his motivation, but you won't believe when he started this hectic challenge. I'll give you 3 guesses. Oh, was it Monday? No. Was it Tuesday? No, but you can be more creative with your guesses if you want. Was it Wednesday? No. It was nearly 3 years ago. 3 years! The 30th of June, 2020. Oh, I never would have guessed that. You're telling me. Anyway, the good news, Steve's raised over 10 grand so far, and he's got less than 10,000 kilometres to go.
First 10,000 were fairly straightforward. It was exciting. Second 10,000 was tougher. This last 20 to 30,000 kilometres have been incredibly difficult.
And Steve joins me now. Good morning, Steve. Ooh, we've got Steve with us this morning. I can't hear Steve.
Hi, Paula, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. There you go. The wonders
joys of technology.
I love it. Do you know, it's always me as well. And people always go, it's Paula. Paula's pressing the wrong buttons, but it's not
No,
me.
it was me.
It was you.
It was
Hooray. You admitted it. Are you on your bike as we speak?
I am, yes. Yeah, I'm on it this morning. Yeah, I'm pedalling away a bit. I've been on it about 15 minutes or so now.
Right, I've got to ask the question first of all. I'm sure many people are asking, why, Steve, did you decide to do this?
Oh, so long story short, a few years ago I was on holiday, met a guy who ran something called the Million Metre Challenge, which is about completing 1,000 kilometres of activity in a period of time. And when I told people I was doing it, they asked me what charity I was doing it for, which wasn't any. So when I concluded that, I thought, well, I will have a go for charity, and I'll do something that's a bit more challenging. And as producer Jack's just rightly said, I came up with what's turned out to be a bonkers challenge, for want of a better term.
So 3 years ago you started this?
I did, yeah. Well, I work full time and I'm a father of 3. So I have to do it in the evenings and on weekends.
And how long did you expect it to take when you started it 3 years ago?
I worked out, Paul. I thought I could do probably, I aimed at a conservative sort of 25 to 30 kilometres a day, which is about an hour on the exercise bike, because I'm doing it with resistance, so it's the equivalent of cycling uphill. And I thought if I aim to do that sort of 5 days a week, it would take me about 4.5 years. So I'm ahead of that. But yeah, I'll be glad to see the back of it.
I love your honesty. I'll be glad to see the back of it.
Yes.
So at what point into it, after you started 3 years ago, did you think, why did I commit to this? There must have been a day where you thought, I can't. My legs can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no, there's been plenty of those days, Paula. It was probably after about 12,000 kilometres. The first 10 was all honeymoon period, and you think it's going to be great. And then the aches set in. And yeah, you realise how far you've got to go. It's not so appealing to get on the bike and pedal again for another hour, knowing you're only making a small dent each time.
Have you worked out where in the world you'd be if you started off in Stoke, in Trentham, on that date in 2020? Where in the world you'd be right now? Do you do that?
Yeah. I've plotted a virtual course east, heading off from Stoke-on-Trent, as you say. I've gone through Europe and Middle East to Asia. I'm now in South America, effectively coming out of the north end of Brazil. So if you look on a global map, you plot from sort of Rio de Janeiro back to Stoke-on-Trent. That's where I am.
I'm in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's warm here, but I think it's warmer there.
Now, where in your house is your bike, Steve?
Well, I'm now in my third location. So
Okay.
I started off in the bedroom, and my wife got sick of seeing the bike in the bedroom. It moved down to the kitchen, where eventually she got fed up of hearing it and hearing me pedaling at night. And then eventually it's moved downstairs. We built a cabin in the garden. And I've been relegated to the doghouse, I think, for want of a better term.
He's literally in the doghouse. I love it. I mean, what does you've said you're a father of three. What does your wife and your children think of all this?
They've been great, to be perfectly honest. They've been really supportive. My wife, I say, apart from putting up with the sound of the pedaling, has put up with the fact that I'm in here in the evenings. I'm in here on weekends. Where she used to work, which was up in a bank in Hanley. But they've been tremendous. They've let me go in and take the bike in, and I'm pedaling there and collect, as have a couple of supermarkets. So, yeah, they've been fantastic. And my kids, again, I think they think I'm nuts, but that's nothing new.
Nothing new. Now, has there been an occasion where perhaps, you and your wife have planned to be somewhere and you've gone, sorry, love, just got to do an hour on the bike before we go?
Yeah, there's been a few of those. Yeah, it doesn't always go down well for them.
So, I mean, you've raised £10,000 already, which is brilliant.
Yes.
What's the goal?
Well, the original goal was to raise 10,000. I thought the challenge was unusual enough that I'd probably be able to get that, which I've done, and surpassed that, which is fantastic. I've now said, because I've got about a third of the journey left when I pass that mark, that I'd push it up to 15,000. I'm currently at 10,667. That's going well, and as I mentioned, it's all for Cancer Research UK. So every penny that can help will help them with the research and hopefully find some cures or better treatments for those people who are unfortunate enough to suffer with it.
So you've raised over £10,000, which is brilliant. You've done 30,000 miles in 3 years, is that right?
30,000 kilometres, yeah.
Kilometres.
It feels like miles.
Yeah. So do you have a target, like day, date, month, when you'll actually finish?
I think now it's going to end up being around about February time next year at the rate I'm going at. Ideally, if I can find more time to fit it in, I'll try and get it done before. But I think realistically, end of February is about the timeline I'd be looking at.
And how will you celebrate not having to pedal another bike like out of choice?
I'll sit and watch TV, I think.
Put your feet up. I mean, the thing is, Steve, a lot of people do have exercise bikes in their homes. I mean, I think the sale of exercise bikes probably went up during COVID.
Absolutely.
So, but as in most cases, mine, apart from when my husband uses it, is usually used to just hang clothes on to dry. It's now.
That was the thing with this one, Paula. My wife bought me this years ago, and as you just mentioned, you use it at first, and then eventually it just sort of stands there, and you put stuff on it, and then I took a look at it and thought, well, go on, let's give this a go.
Well, we wish you well, Steve. How can people donate and help you?
I have a Just Giving page. If people are able to and would be kind enough, that'd be really appreciated. You can find me on justgiving.com, and if they just put in my name, which is Stephen with a PH, and then lewis-brammer, which is LEWIS, and then hyphen BRA, double M for Mike, ER, or they can put in justgiving.com/fundraising/cycling round the world. And there's a hyphen between each of those words.
/madman. We wish you well, Steve. Thanks for joining us this morning. So there you go. I mean, it's like, hello. That's hilarious. I'm in Rio de Janeiro this morning. So yeah, good luck to Steve, who hopes to finish his round the world cycling trip by February next year. Like I say, I have been on our exercise bike once, I think, and I was on it for about 10 minutes, and then my legs were aching and I got bored. But 30,000 kilometres he's done already. Brilliant.